Welcome back to Dumb Stuff Deniers Say. We're the show that loves facts the fossil fuel cartels hate. On today's episode, we'll talk about models. No, not that kind of model. We're talking about climate models and why trolls hate them so much. The climate models are always wrong, screech the trolls. This is according to troll math. Of course, one of the reasons that trolls are trolls is that they don't represented math at all. The average troll would have to take his socks off to count past 11. Real math is scary. Until you actually read, the science. We'll start by dragging out one of the model-related tropes trolls are still using, the infamous Christie chart. John Christie, partner of Roy Spencer, remember him? Waved this chart around years ago as empirical evidence that the climate models were all projecting higher than observed temperatures. And of course, the denier blogs were all over this like a duck on a June bug. It's safe to say that the Christie chart is in every Dropbox of every troll farm on the planet. And like so many deeply entrenched troll references, it's bunk. The Christie chart is a textbook example of cherry picking and data distortion. It ignores surface temperatures where model accuracy is strongest and where we actually live. It relies on a single low-ball satellite dataset, UAH, of the middle troposphere. It misuses model ensemble means without showing the full uncertainty range. And while Christie hasn't publicly presented this chart since 2019, the trolls are still waving the steaming pile around like it's gospel. Would you like to know more? Now let's talk about one of many decisive studies involving climate model accuracy, Housefather et al. 2020. This peer-reviewed study looked at 17 major climate models used between 1970 and 2007. And guess what? 14 out of 17 models accurately predicted the global temperature trend when accounting for actual emissions. Not based on guesses, not based on ideology, based on physics. And here's another payload of truth bombs. The first modern climate model from over 50 years ago has proven to be remarkably accurate. Exxon's own climate model from over 40 years ago has also proven to be remarkably accurate. And climate models over 30 years old have also proven to be remarkably accurate. That's a lot of remarkably accurate for models that the trolls claim are always wrong. And the pioneering scientists who created some of these early climate models won the 2021 Nobel Prize in Physics. I'm pretty sure they don't give Nobel Prizes in physics to folks who get it wrong. But here's the key insight most trolls miss. The proper version of the model is like choosing what to wear based on the weather. Models don't fail when conditions extend outside of the expected parameters. That's not a flaw. That's literally how scenarios are supposed to work. The projections of models are based on a range of variables and assumptions. These scenarios generate different outputs as designed. Global emissions increasing 10% over the next 50 years is a scenario. Global emissions decreasing 10% over the next 50 years is a scenario. The models output projections of the global effects of these scenarios. The concept is easy, if, then. Multiple versions of models are based on different scenarios. Case in point, the trolls love to wave around the SSP 8.5 model as support for their claims that models aren't trustworthy. But here are the facts. SSP 8.5 was designed as the worst-case scenario, as in, if we burn coal like it's going out of style, then the warming will be like Alderons, which, thanks to market and policy shifts, we didn't. The fundamental emissions scenario that SSP 8.5's projections were based did not happen. No if, so no then. Instead, SSP 6.0 is now considered the high end of feasible warming projections. SSP 4.5, which assumes moderate emissions mitigation, has been tracking very well to direct observations of warming. Hooray for science. But SSP 4.5 is still projecting 2.5 to 3 degrees Celsius of warming by 2100. Sad face for us all. Climate models are valuable tools of modern policy planning. They accurately predicted the warming of the planet. They predicted polar ice loss. They modeled sea level rise zones decades ago, accurately. They've warned us again and again. And the fossil fuel-funded denial machine? It's trying to convince you that every single warning was just a fluke. It's trying to convince the public that math and science can't be trusted. Claiming climate models are always wrong is dead wrong. That's it for today's episode of Dumb Stuff Deniers Say. Smash that like button. And next time someone tells you climate models are garbage, just ask them, which ones? See you next time.